What's up, everyone? Sean Count Blaggerth here today with a rant. Oh, it's been a while since I've done a rant, and yeah, this is something that really pisses me off. I want to talk about. It's an annoying thing that I've noticed happen a lot lately, and I'm going to give my thoughts on it in general. But this one particular case of crowdfunding is really pissing me off. And as I said, I'm going to be talking about crowdfunding. And this new case that's pissing me off is of Australian progressive extreme metal band NeO. Before I get comments, no, I'm not a fan of them. Would I be this pissed off still if it was like my favorite bands, such as bands like Triptychon or Revenge or whatever? Yeah, I would be pissed. Let me explain myself. So, I did a little research before I did this, and what I found blew my fucking mind, guys. So, NeO is currently on tour here in the US with Butcher Babies and Cradle of Filth. And I guess they're having issues with money, or some financial problems, as does almost every single fucking band in the metal world. Now, the difference between them and all the other bands in the world that know how to handle their shit is these guys are crying about it and are wanting their fans to pay their way. Now, when it comes to crowdfunding in general, I'm not a big fan of it. I've only taken part in one Pledge Music campaign, and that wasn't even to fund the record. It was to get exclusive pre-orders from the band Hex Vessel. Everything else, I've always been kind of iffy on because you're paying for a product that's not even out yet, but that's neither here nor there. With this particular case, here's what pisses me off. Let's go back to their early years. And they had an album that was about to come out where they got a $20,000 grant from the Australian government. There's one. 2014, they did a crowdfunding campaign for them to do a world tour, and they got 86,000 Australian dollars, which is about 67,000 US dollars, so they could go on tour. Now, they're saying that they're losing money on tour, and they need your help, and they set up a Patreon account, and Patreon is like a monthly sort of Kickstarter in a way. It's where you can donate monthly, and you get certain exclusives that are only for the patron group. And on paper, this is kind of a cool theory of, you pay the band a certain amount of money per month and you'll get, like, behind the scenes, whatever. I personally think it's lame, but the idea is, I'll give it that. But here's where my problem comes in. They're asking $250 a month at their highest tier. There's like $5 a month where you get jack shit, or $5 a month where you get like exclusive updates on the band and all this shit. But like, then there's like a $25, a $50, $75, and a $250 a month thing. And it's like you can get a Skype call from the band. It's like, how big are your fucking egos if you think that people are willing to pay that much to get a goddamn Skype call from you? Then there is also one of my personal favorites. After 3 months, I believe it is, you are eligible to get a poster, and every 6 months you're eligible to get a free piece of merch, so you spend over $1,000 to get a free fucking shirt. This is some of the most absurd shit I've ever heard in my life, and people are eating this up, and my question for you guys is why? These guys are completely irresponsible with their finances, just like CJ from Thy Art Is Murder. I didn't really talk about this, and I'm a huge fan of Thy Art Is Murder, and he quit the band saying he was making $3,000, and that was enough to sustain himself when they're not on tour, but the parts that he didn't mention is he has a shoe collecting habit, and spends hundreds of dollars on a pair of shoes. He's making terrible financial investments and then blames the music industry. While the music industry is in the toilet, I will agree, there are certain things you can do to combat it. And one of the things that NeO chose to do that doesn't combat it and doesn't save money is they decided to get a bus that is bigger than Cradle of Filth's. So they got a bus bigger than the band they're opening for. Why? There's that. They have to get a motel room every night. How about this? You tour in a van or a Sprinter, a really nice van, rent one, which is maybe $20,000 less than a tour bus, and you sleep in your van for a few nights a week. How about you make smarter financial investments? How about you print merch that people actually want to fucking buy? And you print enough of it so people can buy it. And you can make money. There are ways to combat the music industry that's in the toilet. This is why I encourage people to buy music, because it truly does help, and it saves us from this type of douchebaggery e-begging. But people don't seem to get this concept. It's just like a mind-blowing concept that actually does help the band by purchasing music. But people don't, so now bands are looking for new alternatives to make up for it. And here's the other thing that really pisses me off, is their drummer quit a $150,000 a year job to tour, yet he wants you to pay for him to live his dream. Just because you're a musician that has a shitload of fans doesn't make them obligated to pay you. That doesn't mean that you have to quit your day job so you can focus completely on this because we got over X amount of likes on Facebook. No, that's not how it works. You keep working and you keep busting your ass at your craft, and eventually you'll be able to quit your day job if everything goes well. If you are truly good enough to get to the point where you can sustain yourself off music, then that day will happen. But until then, keep up your fucking day job. Like, this isn't very hard, and people are looking at it and looking at their bullshit excuses of it's just really hard, and just because you're in a band doesn't mean you have to be destitute. Nobody says that it means you have to be, but that doesn't mean you have to tour outside of your means. That is exactly what they're doing. If your fan base isn't in the country that you're located in and you want to tour, don't expect them to pay you. How about you get off your ass and you move there? Just an idea. If NeO fan base is mostly in the US, relocate to the US. It's not a very hard concept, yet for some reason people just don't seem to understand this. And now I'm just incoherently rambling because I'm pissed. Basically, I'm sick of e-begging, and I am absolutely fucking sick of these bands asking for absolute asinine amounts of money, because they're looking to get the same amount of money that they would working a minimum wage job in Australia, which is $17 an hour. And if you want to be a professional musician, get used to the fact that you're probably not going to when you play this type of music. And just kind of expect that you're going to live life just a little fucking rough. Things aren't going to be exactly great. It's not going to be what they showed on Behind the Music on VH1. It is a tough existence to be in a band. And shoot me if I ever get to the point with my bands where I am begging for money. I don't mind bands that are looking to fund an album. I really don't. And I can understand that, but at the same time, I feel like a band should save up a significant amount of money if they're truly serious about what they are doing. But, God, this is just absolutely absurd. Well, what do you guys think about this whole NeO thing? I personally think it's bullshit. Do you think it's bullshit? Do you support it? Did you sign up for it? Why? Let me know in the comments below, and that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And as always, keep it metal.